Most n8n users are overpaying every single month and they don't even know it. But here's the twist. You can run exactly the same automations for 80% less and get unlimited executions. In this video, I'll show you how to self-host n8n on the cloud using exactly the same setup that I use to automate my business for under $6 a month. And the best part, it takes less than 15 minutes to set up, even if you have never done it before. So the first thing you need to understand is that you can host and use n8n in 3 different ways. The first way, and the most common, is when you cloud host n8n. This just means that you went to the website and then you pick up a plan and you start using the tool. This is by far the fastest way to get started. However, as we can see on the screen, the price can be quite steep. You are limited by the number of executions and you don't control your environment or server performance. The second way to use n8n is what we call cloud self-hosting. This is basically when you take n8n software and you host it on the cloud by yourself. The main advantages of this method is because you can save up to 80% than using the n8n cloud. You have unlimited executions, and this becomes a big deal because the more you grow, the more you will be charged by n8n if you stay with them, whereas when you self-host, you have unlimited executions. And you can integrate freely with any community nodes. The disadvantages of this method is because you need to maintain your service. Usually you need to update it. This is very simple. I'm going to show you how to do it. Some official n8n features such as the chatbot and the soon to be released text to workflow is not available when you self-host. However, we can easily replace them using our own tools. And the initial setup requires a bit of a learning curve, very little, and I will be showing you exactly how to do it. And last but not least, you have the option to self-host n8n on your own machine. I really don't recommend this option unless you really want just to play around with the tool and see how it goes. In this case, okay, self-hosting on your own machine might be worth. However, keep this in mind, whenever you really want to use it for something beyond learning, you need to choose either n8n cloud or the self-hosting cloud option. The self-hosting company that I chose to host my n8n is Hostinger, mainly because they are really reliable and the prices are great. So if you just come to Google and type Hostinger, click on the first link, and then here in services, you will see VPS hosting or self-host n8n. They are basically the same thing. So you just click on self-host n8n. And here you're gonna have 4 different plans to choose from. KVM 1, 2, 4, and 8. I recommend you start with 2 because on the long run, this becomes kind of future-proof. If you are really serious about learning this and potentially using it for business purposes, I really recommend KVM2. If you don't know and you are a bit uncertain and you really need to save a bit more of money, then go for one and scale up as you learn, as you need more resources. On the description, I have a link that will give you 20% off from whichever plan you choose. So rather than come here and click on choose plan, go to the description of this video and you will receive an additional 20% off. As you can see here, this is the link that I left on the description to the KVM2 plan. And as you can see, now you are paying $5.59 as opposed to $6.99, which is exactly 20% off every month, which in the long run really adds up. So as you can see here, for the next 2 years, I'll be paying $5.59 to host n8n as opposed to paying more than $30 in the n8n cloud version. This is more than 80% savings, which is awesome. Now, all that you need to do is to check that your server is the one closest to you. Usually Hostinger does that for you. So in my case here, I am in Australia and the closest server is the one in Malaysia. And you need to choose the closest server to reduce latency. Now, all that you need to do is search from n8n here. And as you can see, you are going to have three options: n8n, n8n queue mode, and n8n plus 100 workflows. You are going to choose n8n and then you're gonna click in confirm. Now, all that you need to do is just click on continue, create an account with them if you don't have one already, and pay for the plan that you chose. Once you created your account and paid for your plan, you are going to land on this page here. The first thing you will be doing here is clicking on manager. Then this is the part where most people get scared with, which is to update your n8n instance. To do so is very simple. All that you need to do is just click here, how to update n8n, and then you're gonna have a step-by-step, but I will also be showing you, okay? So the first thing that you need to do is go to the browser terminal. So once you click here in browser terminal, you will see something similar to the CMD in the Windows, and this is what freaks people out the most. But again, it's super simple. All that you need to do is just come back here to this website. Then the first command that you are going to copy is this one here. And this basically will pull n8n latest version. So just click on here, copy that command. If for some reason you cannot Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, that's fine. Then all that you need to do is type in. In my case, I couldn't Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, so I needed to type in the command docker compose pull. Once you type in, just hit enter and you will be seeing that the tool will be checking if there is any update available. Now just wait a little bit until everything here has a green tick so that you can input the next command. Okay, now you can see everything has a green tick. So let's go back and see what the second command is. And as you can see here, the second command is docker compose down. So let's go back here and type docker compose down and hit enter. Now, as you can see, everything has the green tick. So let's type in the final command, which is docker compose up-d. Docker compose up-d. Then press enter. And that's all, guys. That's all you need to do to update your n8n instance to the latest version. Now, I'll be showing you how to transfer your credentials from the n8n cloud service to your self-hosting instance. First thing, you need to click on Manage App, then log in with the account and password that you just created. Then the first time that you land on your n8n self-hosting instance, probably you won't see any workflow like my ones here. So the first thing you need to do is just come to your credentials. Then I recommend you going to your n8n cloud service. Also go to your credentials. And here what you will be doing is you are going to transfer one by one of these credentials to your self-hosting instance. For me, the best way to do this is I would open up this credential. For example, this is the Blotato one. Then I know exactly what I need to establish this credential here with my self-hosting instance. So in this case, I just need an Blotato API key and this URL. So all that I would do in this case is go back to my Blotato service. I would grab my API key and I would come back here to my new n8n instance. You click on here, create credential, and then you would copy your API key and click on save. And just like that, your Blotato credential would be established on your n8n self-hosted instance. So this is the same to most credentials except for the Google Cloud Console credentials. Those ones require a little bit of extra steps and I'm going to be showing you exactly how to do it. Okay, just to be 100% clear on what we are doing here, let's suppose that you already have n8n Cloud, you've been using the cloud platform and you use Google Sheets, you use Google Drive, So that means that at one point in time, you created a project on Google Cloud and then you established these credentials here on your n8n cloud. What we are doing now is taking these credentials and adding them to our self-hosting instance. Okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about, probably it means that you haven't done this yet, so that's fine. All that you need to do is create your own Google Cloud credentials here on your self-hosting instance. However, if you have done it already and you just want to transfer from n8n cloud to your self-hosting instance, then all that you need to do is go to Google, then you type in Google Cloud Console. Then once you land on this page here, all that you need to do is just make sure that you are using exactly the same Google account that you used to connect it here when you created this account on your n8n, and also make sure that you selected the right project. Okay, again, I am supposing here that you already have done this when you created these credentials. Okay, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, it means that you haven't created or used these credentials here on n8n, so you don't need to worry about this. However, if you have these credentials here, then just follow along. Once you confirm the project and the correct account, just click on API and Services, then click on this option here. Now click on Clients, select the client, and now all that you need to do to make sure that you can transfer your Google credentials from n8n Cloud to your self-hosting is to add a new authorized redirect URL. What do I mean by that is this. So let's go back to our self-hosting instance. Let's create a new credential, and let's suppose that we want to create a credential to Google Drive. So to be able to create your Google credential, you need to add this URL to your Google client project. This is the key because this URL, the URL of your self-hosting instance, is different from the URL that you are using when you had the n8n cloud. So all that you need to do is just copy this, go back to your Google Cloud Console, make sure that you add a URL and you copy it in here. Once you do it, just save, wait a couple of minutes, then you can go back to your self-host instance and just add your client ID and client secret here so that you can log in with your Google account. And just as a bonus tip, if you don't know what your client ID is or client secret is because you forgot to save or anything like that, all that you need to do is just go back to your Google Cloud account, and in here you can see your client ID. Probably you won't be able to see your client secret because it shows only once for you. Okay, so if you didn't save that, you lost it. But all that you need to do in this case is just to add a new secret, then go back to your credentials, copy it in here, click on save, and log in with your Google account. That's how you establish your Google credentials with your self-hosting n8n. By the way, if this video has been helpful to you so far, I would like to ask you if you could kindly hit the like button. That really helps the channel to spread the word. The next step is just to transfer all your workflows from n8n Cloud to your new self-host instance. To do this, all that you need to do is just open the workflow that you want to transfer to your new self-hosting instance. Then you come to the three dots, click on download, and as you can see, a JSON file will be downloaded. Now just go to your n8n self-host instance, click on create workflow, click on the three dots here, import from file, then choose your file, and just like that, the whole workflow will be imported. As you can see, a couple of nodes has this red warning here, but basically this means that you need to choose the right credentials to these nodes. If you already imported your credentials like I showed you before, all that you need to do is just click to open the node. Then you can click outside of the Canva, and as you can see, that red dot has disappeared. Do this to every single node that has the red flag warning here. Click on save and you will be done. Now that you have successfully hosted your n8n cloud instance, you might want to learn how to create n8n workflows 10 times faster. This is exactly what I show you how to do in this video that is showing up on the screen right now. Check it out. Thanks so much for watching. See ya next time.